Hey there, welcome to day 31 of our Let's Grow Annual Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, and today I want to talk about, as we're finishing this first month of the challenge, congratulations for sticking with me. Today, I want to talk about the different areas that we want to deep dive into in order to grow. I like to recommend, and the framework I usually use if I'm doing it all by myself is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, communication, and confidence. Those 9 areas I have covered for since 2021, following the pandemic. Before that, since the 1980s, I have used the 7-part area as my personal framework for setting goals, objectives, trying to create some semblance of order out of what is often chaotic. Our lives are often full of chaos and change and challenges. And so I learned this framework, this 7-part framework from Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn back in the late 70s. I was probably I don't think I was exposed to it till the 1980s. Let's be honest. I was exposed to Tony Robbins in the 70s and Jim Rohn and some other great teachers, but I didn't really start doing anything with the life framework until I got out of college, started my corporate career, and went on a journey of continuous learning and personal development through my first employer. And I would have done it anyway, but they made it easy, and it made it easy to choose them as my first job out of college because they did have such an emphasis on continuous learning, personal development, growth, career development, etc. So my question for you today and our action today is think about the areas that we want to deep dive in to grow. Sometimes I think of things, and usually when I'm planning under financial comes business, career, professional development, things like that. However, maybe we want to separate that out and have career and business, or career and business each have their own months this year or their own couple of weeks or segments. I need to hear from you how you want to do it. And then what order do we want to cover and deep dive into each of these areas? If I don't get any feedback or a whole bunch of strong feelings about what to start with, I'm going to recommend that we jump into February with relationships. Why? Because to me, number one, I've got lots of birthdays. 2 of my granddaughters are born in February, plus my son. Lots of birthdays in February and March. And it's, to me, with Valentine's Day and everything, has always felt like a love month, a month about relationships. So every year I do something different, but this year I'm feeling relationships is the place to start. If you want to start somewhere else in a deep dive in an area to grow, I need to hear from you today and tonight so that by tomorrow morning I've got the area that we're going to work on, and so I can change my background, because this was our January. I decided this year to grow and change things up. I'm going to change my background every month. Not going to change it a lot, but I'm going to change it once a month. So that's 12 times is a lot, right? So I got to come up with 12 backgrounds. So I don't know what it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be something. It's going to be something. Probably not all teddy bears, right? Teddy bears is my January start of New Year because they make me feel warm and cozy and safe to stretch my comfort zone. All right, so what are we doing today? I need to know what areas you want to deep dive and grow in this year. So I like to set my life up as far as physical well-being, mental well-being, spiritual well-being, those 9 areas. But I need to know if you want to go with those or if you've got suggestions for other areas. Maybe you want to deep dive into relationships and you want to break that up and have a deep dive on our primary relationships, and then a deep dive on, say, work and friendships and other relationships. I don't know until you tell me. So instead of just doing what I like to do, let's hear it from you, and that's what we'll do. Otherwise, if I don't hear, we're going to start off with relationships, and we still have time to change. We can change on the fly because we're doing it every day. We can change the area we're going to focus on and emphasize anytime we want. But usually I take a month for each of those 9 areas. And then I'll do No Nonsense November, which is when I share big lifetime, so far, lessons learned, tools, tricks, and strategies that have helped me to overcome challenges and obstacles, to help me create the life that I want. And then in December last year, it was goals. So instead of, it made it easy because we did tools and strategies and important lessons learned in November and a bunch of different things. And then in December, we planned and plotted out each of our goals for this year. So I don't have that nice framework and setup for this year. So I want to know, what do we want to do? What do we want to work on? And I've got, we could do habits. We could literally do a whole deep dive month on habits and rituals and incantations, as Tony Robbins calls them, because they're all slightly different. We could do affirmations and all different tools. But I will let you know right now, I'm going to share tools and strategies and things that have worked for me so far throughout this entire challenge. Not every day we won't have a tool. Maybe I'll do like I did last year. Every time we go through the process, I'll have a tool for each step of that process. That way we get at least 12 tools to help us with continuous learning, 12 tools to help us tell our story, 12 tools to help us measure and know how we're doing and reflect on and analyze what's going on with us, etc. So what I want you to do today, I want you to think about the areas you want to deep dive in for growth for yourself and prioritize those. We kind of did that earlier this month, but I want to revisit it so I can get feedback on, all right, where do you want to go next? Yeah, maybe that's the question. Instead of how do you want to lay it out, what do you want to talk about next? Me, I vote for relationships, but let's hear it from you. Have an awesome day. Any questions, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow for a brand new focus to grow.